Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima and I'm here checking out Nioh. This one seemed pretty obvious to take a look at, so we're going to take a look at it. I'm going to hit continue here. Actually, just before I do I have... Yeah, so there we go, that's my playtime right there. I've been playing for 9 hours. I'm on the second region of the game. I think there's at least, I don't know, there might be 6, I think. Maybe not. Just depending on how many of those bloody green things there are in the game, like that little guy there. Gotta go and check out the options menu first, because there's a bunch of things you can't change while you're inside the game. And the main thing is the game mode, which is actually pretty neat, because you can decide whether or not you want to stabilize the frame rate, or stabilize, or have the frame rate higher or lower, depending on whether or not you actually want better graphics or not, which is nice, because you don't usually get that choice. I much prefer having the game at a solid 60 myself. A bunch of pretty basic settings going on here. You can change your screen brightness. I've obviously got it at max because I'm a wimp. And you can change, obviously, your audio sliders. I better turn on the music, actually. We got different controls. This control scheme works fine. There's nothing wrong with it. The problem is, when you try and play remote play, it maps L2 and R2 to the top left and top right corner of the touchscreen, so doing anything with a ranged weapon on any of these setups is impossible, more or less. So, yeah, it kind of sucks. You might as well just leave it as the default. Hope you don't have to do anything related to ranged weapons. You've got all your camera settings here. You can change whether or not you want to go online, whether or not you want to have a secret word, you know. And of course, you can change your language. I don't know why you'd do that, but you can if you want. Actually, a fair amount of languages for the US version of the game, for whatever reason. Even bloody UK English instead of US English. There you go. So, let's go load into my game, shall we? I thought I'd been playing for 10 hours, but no, 9 hours actually. I was pretty close. So I'll just go hop straight into a level before we go and actually do anything else. Let the game decide it wants to load. Levels in this game are set up between missions and submissions in all the different areas of the game. So you can do submissions to level up, but you've got to go do the story missions if you want to actually progress the plot or move on to different areas. Oh, the ocean roars again. I didn't realize that was what I was up to. You've got Twilight missions, and one of them is actually... I actually have to beat that story mission to unlock this one, but those missions give you, what's the word I'm looking for? They give you better rewards in exchange for having to fight more dangerous stuff. But anyway, let's just go hop into a mission, shall we? We won't spend too much time going to the blacksmith or anything like that. I forgot to close the bloody window. That's why my voice sounds weird. Loading times aren't that bad because after your initial load into the stage, the loads after you die are very short, like 5 seconds short, so you don't have to spend too much time worrying about that. So, away we go. This is Nioh. I mean, I'm gonna have to make the comparison eventually, because it really is a Dark Souls game. Like, there are some things it does differently from Dark Souls, don't get me wrong, but there are definitely things that it does that are extremely similar to Dark Souls. Like your Amrita, for example, is basically just a Souls stand-in. You use Amrita to level up, and, oh jeez. You use Amrita to level up, but you lose it all if you die. That's very clearly something taken from Dark Souls. The combat, you might argue, is something taken from Dark Souls as well. However, it does have its own little spin on things. The downside is that you only have 5 different kinds of weapons, and you can only carry 2 at a time actively to be used. You can carry lots of different kinds of weapons, but you can only have 2 active on you at once. And the 2 different weapons each have, the 5 different weapons, sorry, each have 3 different combat styles. So right now I'm in the high style, and the high style is, that's a trap, goddammit. The high style is, oh geez, that's a poison trap. The high style is a low speed but high damage style of combat. So what you have to do is, it takes the most stamina, which is in this game called Ki, to do attacks and dodge, but it also does the most damage. And you've also got a similar sort of situation going on with the medium and low styles. However, the different styles also have completely different attacks. So, for example, the medium style with the chain and sickle here, it's got a Japanese name, but I do not remember it to save my life, is a wider attack that hits over a much bigger area than the heavy attacks do. And the light attacks are very fast, but they're also very low range. So, I mean, if you're going up against one enemy that moves extremely quickly, being able to attack them very fast is usually very important indeed. For example, so I managed to get a bunch of attacks in him and get the hell away before he even had a chance to react, which is nice, except I just managed to get myself hit there because I'm a bloody idiot. So the game also has a key pulse system, which is kind of annoying. The way it works is that when you do your attacks, you will drain some of your stamina, but there'll be a red part of the bar that shows up. And if you tap the R1 button, which is also the button you use to change your style, if you tap the R1 button, when that part of the bar is at max, you'll actually get all of that stamina back, which you can then immediately use to do something else. Now, the only reason this is annoying, because I kind of like the idea that you have to sit back, relax, and think about what you have to do in terms of, like, getting to a safe position and letting off your attack. Laying off the attack, I should be saying. While you have to do that in order to make sure you key pulse properly, it's just the act of having to press the button every single bloody time is really annoying. It gets on your nerves really quickly. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the system. It's just, I wish there was a better way to handle, you know, doing the actual key pulses. I'm just gonna run through this because it looks like a trap hall. And that's a bastard right there. I can see the glimmer on the sword, so if I just throw the bombs, it'll take him out. Those guys do massive amounts of damage. I don't want to go risking anything with those guys. There is also your block, which you can do, and the block in this game is way more powerful than it is in your regular Dark Souls games. There are very, very few attacks at which the block cannot repel. See, not only was that repelled, but it took a very low amount of my stamina, which is very good, because in this game, things can hit really hard, really fast, so you do want to be kind of careful about that. Also, apparently my weapon's been imbued with the spirit of cold, because, well, I must have hit something with the cold. Shit! These guys hit like a truck, so you want to take care of them as fast as humanly possible, and thankfully I did. Whoops, something's wrong. Oh my god, that's a rock. I did not expect that. Okay, I'm gonna hide here again, because there's no way that was the only one. Come on. Never mind, up we go. Yep, there is a fake one right there. I'll just throw a bomb at him. You do also have something called your living weapon, and your living weapon is that meter up in the top left there that's currently flashing in that circle there. And what that is, hey, I actually have an opportunity to demonstrate, because that is a giant demon. What the living weapon is it replaces your health and your stamina with an extra bar of its own, and you can also use a new upgraded form of your weapon in order to deal a bunch of damage, and that's what I just did. Very, very simple to understand stuff. You earn your meter back via taking out enemies, obviously. You can also increase it via items. There's plenty of different kinds of items. You get health potions every time you spawn, because of course you do. And you've got things like bombs, and you even have ranged weapons like this. Ranged weapons aren't very useful, though, as you can tell. I better heal up. Ranged weapons aren't very useful, but, I mean, if you don't want to deal with a particular kind of... If you don't want to deal with a particular ranged enemy or whatever, it's very nice to be able to just pull out the bow and fire away at something. You have multiple different kinds of ranged weapons too. Like, I've got this gigantic cannon here, which I would love to actually show off, but I haven't got any ammo for this in, like, 2 stages. It's kind of annoying. I probably should have bought some of the blacksmith while I was there. But oh well. So this is basically the game. You're wandering through these different kinds of dungeons, looking for supplies and different kinds of resources and equipment and stuff like that. Of course, you've got giant bosses to fight at the end of it. That's pretty much how these things always go. Might as well drop down here. I think this is back the way I came in. Let's just hope I picked the right direction, huh? No, I didn't, but I have been in here before, so we can just wander on back the other way, and hopefully we'll be able to find our way out of this little tomb here. But yes, the game is fairly inspired by the Dark Souls thing of wandering around levels that look massive, but are actually pretty small once you've gotten your head around all of them. Oh god. Another fucking... Ah, damn it. I should have seen that coming, but I didn't, because I'm an idiot. Oh well. So I've died, so I go back to that shrine that I prayed at earlier. I have lost all my Amrita, but I have my health potions and stuff back. And I didn't have that much Amrita on me, all things considered, so I don't have a problem with going the other direction for now anyway. Don't know why I'm not online. Let's get that fixed up. So there's a bunch of things you can do here. You can immediately call back your Guardian Spirit, which is the thing up in the top left. And if you do that, you lose all the Amrita you were carrying, but you get your Guardian Spirit back, because they actually give you bonuses in this game. You can level up, obviously. You've got all sorts of different kinds of stats that do all sorts of different things. You can make offerings of items to get more Amrita. You can ready your special ninja equipment, which you can use in order to... What's the word I'm looking for? You can use these as, like, things like, say, well, we've got shuriken, we've got kunai, and we've got fire bombs. That's pretty basic, but you can get all sorts of other things, too, like different kinds of talismans and stuff like that. Boons is your DLC items. You can summon people online, and we'll do that, but the other way around. And you can also receive a Kodama Blessing. When you find the little green guys around, you can send them back to the shrine, and in the area that they are in the same region that you found them in, they'll give you a bonus to things like your gold find, your Amrita gain, your stuff like that. But you can only have one of them equipped at a time. Ow. Alright, come on, come down here so I don't have to deal with that archer at the same time. Thank you. Combat is fast and furious in this game. It really is. It's a bit faster than Dark Souls, but not as fast as, say, Bloodborne. Especially since, for the most part, you can just, like, block pretty much every attack if you really need to. This guy's a yokai. They're different from your typical humanoid-style monsters. We actually haven't seen any humanoid-style monsters just yet. But the way yokai work is that when you take out their entire stamina meter, they tend to fall over unless you get a few extra hits on them. It also works the same with humanoid enemies, but with the yokai, they tend to handle things slightly differently. It's something you kind of need to play to get the difference between... Ow! Where did that come from? There he is. I need to get my bow out for this. If I hit him in the head, down he goes. Better heal up. I'm on fire. I don't think I've got anything to deal with being on fire. That's unfortunate. I got stone. Just a stone. A regular stone. So what was the mission for this area again? I probably should have looked at it before we left, but generally the mission is kill everything. There's really nothing else to it. You do have all sorts of special moves and stuff you can do as well. There's, what's the word I'm looking for? Well, actually, I'll show that off a little bit later when we finish this level, or when I just decide to go back to the starting point and lose all the Amrita I had. Okay, we've got another big guy here, and I don't have my spirit weapon to make this easier on me, so I'm going to swap back to my axe. The creature designs in these games are great. Like, I mean, Tecmo Koei games just in general tend to be really fucking good at this. Shit! They tend to be really good at your typical sense of, like, character design. I don't know what it is. I mean, yeah, as you can see, I've got my spirit weapon back, which is good because I'm going to need it. I'm going to take this guy out so I can get the spirit weapon energy. But yeah, the designs in this game are just, like, gorgeous. Like, everything in this game is pretty much gorgeous. Everything from... Bloody hell, you start from by escaping from the Tower of London, which is a bit of an oddity, but... It still works pretty damn well as well. Shit. I swapped to low style by mistake. That's never a good thing. Come on, come at me, bro. But yeah, the game's just graphical style and just the way it goes about displaying everything is great. It really is. Do I have any water amulets? Yeah, I've got a few. That might actually help with the fire demon that I have to fight up there. You can also fight revenants. Apparently there's a guy called Guitaru Man, but let's fight a revenant. Revenants are basically the bloodstains in Dark Souls, right? They're the what's the word I'm looking for? They're the souls of dead players, more or less, but this time the AI takes over control of them and you can fight them like that. And they actually drop equipment if you win too, so that's pretty cool. Wait for him to time himself out again. Went a little too early on that, but it's alright. I beat the shit out of him. Oh hey, I got a better hammer. So, the way loot works in this game is that the basic idea is that you pick up all these different kinds of weapons, and all these different weapons can have all these different skills. You can see things like parry, skill break, strong attack, low attack, medium attack, different elements, different everything, and you can go and combine these with, well, basically, you can do, what's the word I'm looking for? You can do blacksmith stuff in order to, brain work with me here. You can do stuff with the blacksmith, like merge them and stuff like that. And you can also craft armor and stuff like that as well. It's all pretty basic stuff. Nothing too out of the ordinary. All the weapons are basically the same though. Like, you're not going to find two differently named, you're not going to find two differently named things, like, you're not going to find a hammer that's got a different name from another hammer and have it have a different attack style. It's going to be the same style every time, which kind of sucks, but probably a good idea to have a few really varied ones that you can get used to attacking with. Should probably heal up. Combo finisher right there, but I really shouldn't have done that. I should have just focused on taking this guy out. Fortunately, I ran out of stamina there, but it's alright. I don't have any ranged ammo, because of course I don't. There we go. Grab what he dropped, and away we go. The combat does get a bit repetitive after a while, just generally because of the repetitive nature of all the weapons you use. But it's not that big a deal. Let's apply this just to be safe. Extra elemental damage. Oh, bad idea. Had the wrong set of items out. Just run, heal, heal again. Alright, now we go back and we face him. Run away. Swap to my heavy style. He's down. Well, he gets stun locked. A little bit of a difference, but oh well. Ow. I got him. Well, do I? Nope, I got him. Still, the combat in this game is pretty fun, though. All the enemies do tend to work in the same way as your typical Dark Souls enemies, where they have patterns, and when you learn to recognize them, you will do absolutely fine, and you'll be able to just blast through the game way quicker than most people will. It's, what's the word I'm looking for? It is just that sort of game, you know, it isn't really like, a game where you can get by on pure skill the first time. I mean, you might be able to, but your chances of doing that are very, very slim. Just because of the way enemies attack. They are pretty damn quick in this game, so... Oh dear. And enemy variety isn't particularly high as well, which is a thing. Like in Dark Souls, you'd have all sorts of different enemies all over the place, depending on the location you're in. But in this game, not so much. A lot of the enemies you tend to fight are repeated over the course of the game, so you end up... seeing the same sort of enemies again and again in the different levels, which is okay, but again, it just does tend to get a bit old. Shit! Oh well, at least I found one of these guys. Except he's hiding, because there's someone right there. Actually, my personal favorite move I can do with this is a kick. I like being able to do that. Find your way home, little buddy. You'll be fine. There we go. I do love me a chain and sickle. I don't know what it is about chain and sickles in this game that I like so much, but... Or in any game in general. Like, my main weapon in Tukiden was the chain and sickle. So, who knows? Let's use a water talisman, and we will go in and probably get beaten to death straight away. Hang on, I'm doing alright. No, I'm not. Really should get him out of this tight-ass corridor, but... Hang on. If it's time for anything right now, it's probably a living weapon. It's alright, I got this. I don't think I got this. No, I didn't get it. Ah, that's unfortunate. But oh well, you've seen enough of the basic wandering around and fighting shit gameplay. Let's go do something a little different. If I use an item in here that wow, 20,000 Amarita. If I use an item in here, I should be able to go back to the main menu. I'm just not entirely sure which one it is, because I haven't actually done this before. Alright. That should be it. Yay! Okay, so... Unfortunately, you do have to start the mission over again. What was the mission for that one? The 3 Angry Gods. So if I'd beaten that guy, I would have completed the mission right there and then. Of course. So, you can also... I'll just go show you another region as well, just to show you that this is basically how it works. So you've got plenty of side missions and stuff to do over here as well, but as you can see, they're all really low level. So I might as well show you everything else that's here in this area. So, if we go to the starting point, we can go to the shrine, which is this thing. And we can go to the blacksmith, and you can use your money to both sell and buy items, depending on what you want to do. You can forge different weapons and armor and different kinds of tools. But I don't know why you would bother forging them from here. You can also do a soul match. So if I were to pick a Kabutawari in that, it would change something about it. I'm not entirely sure. You can talk to her to figure out what it is you need to do. Poor girl's missing an eye, I only just realized that. And you can refashion it into a different appearance, which is a neat trick, but I don't know why you would do that exactly, other than just to look cool. And of course, you can reforge weapons, which will change what their ability is. So say I wanted to reforge this proficiency bonus. Reforge that, please. Parry critical. Okay, whatever. Doesn't really matter. So we'll just back out of that. And you can also, of course, disassemble stuff to go crafting, but there's not really much you can craft that's worth 2 dams, at least not yet, anyway. I imagine once you go and get good recipes, you will have a much easier time of it. You can go to the dojo, and you want to finish these tutorial missions as soon as you can, because they're locked behind the way you unlock skills. The Torii Gate is where you go to do online stuff, and that's what we'll be doing very shortly. And you can go to the storehouse to put items away if you need to, but you can carry up to 500, so there's no real point to it. So we've already been in this menu before, but I'm just going to do it again to make sure I don't have anything that's particularly better. Extra defense, that's probably a good thing. See, better unlimited Omnio and change my defense spirit. That's much higher defense just in general, and nothing else really has much higher defense. Different charms, but I don't really have anything better than that. This is where you come to assign your shortcuts. You use R2 to swap between them, and you use R2 to swap between your 4 different palettes. It's actually kind of a pain in the ass to assign them. If you don't go through like the item menu, you have to do it here one by one. It's kind of annoying. Of course, you got your items. Now, when you do well with particular weapons, you earn samurai skill points, and you can use that to learn different tactics. You can use that to learn different tactics and different moves from here. So, for example, I could learn this ability right here, which is increases key recovery when you switch stance during flux, which is a neat idea. Or I can go back and spend it on an axe, or something on an axe, but I've bought all the axe stuff already. What about this one? Spear? No, I haven't actually used any of the other weapons yet. I did play this game during the beta, and I found that axe is my favorite weapon. You didn't get, funnily enough, I didn't actually have the chain and sickle, the Kusari Gama. Very odd. You've also got separate skill points for your ninja points, which is where you go to get things like shurikens, fire bombs, just all that sort of stuff. And you can also get passive increases here too, like increased number of bullets that can be carried by 2, increased number of arrows, just items and stuff like that, all sorts of different things. You can even see movies of like, you can even see movies of things like that, which is neat. That, might actually buy that when I next have a ninja skill point. And you've also got your magic, which is, different kinds of talismans, different kinds of, boosts, different kinds of things like that. It's all pretty neat. All this stuff gets resupplied when you go back. It's because if I go back to the shrine, which is the starting point here, that's where you go to. That's what you do when you ready your jutsu, which is nice. So I can ready them, and now I get 2 of them every time I spawn, which is very nice indeed. You can customize your skills when you have the majority of your skills for a particular weapon set. All of these slots will be filled up, and some can be done in more than one... What's the word I'm looking for? Some of these can be done in more than... Some of these abilities... There's more than one ability per slot. That's what I'm trying to say. Fucking hell, brain. So you have to select just one of them, but you can select like different ones for different stances, which is good because you can swap to a different stance to use a different attack. As you can see, my Kurasagama, I have got like everything learned here, which is kind of neat. Of course, your status, where you can see your stats, your defenses versus everything. I don't have very much going for me here. And additional stats and all your special effects. That's a lot of special effects. And of course, your Guardian Spirit and all the things they do. The higher your spirit level, the more effects you get from them. You have titles, and you earn Agio and Ungio prestige points by getting titles here. And the titles are pretty obvious stuff, like defeat 70 skeleton warriors, do 1,000 damage, 1 million damage, whatever. It's all pretty obvious stuff. And when you do that, you can use your prestige points to earn permanent stat boosts, which is perfectly fine. It's a nice little thing that you can just come check on every now and again. And of course, you can come here to see things like your tutorials, background on everything. You can see illustrations of all the different kinds of monsters. There's a ton of them. Like, for example, you can even see the big bosses. It's an awesome boss, just an awesome boss model right there. And you can even see your Guardian Spirits as well. And you can even play their movies, which is actually what I'll do, because the way that the story is told in this game is the way it works is that it has these absolutely beautifully rendered movies that you can watch. Like, watch this. So you've got those kinds of cutscenes, which are absolutely beautiful. And then you've got your typical 3D rendered style cutscenes going on here. That, oh yeah, I can change into a different region here. You've got all these different kinds of cutscenes going on here. Like, here's a boss cutscene here, just a 3D rendered boss cutscene. Disturbing as hell, but they do a really good job with those cutscenes. They look great. The voice acting is a little bit iffy, at least when William, the main protagonist, starts speaking English, because he speaks English by default. It's a little bit cringe, but nothing too much to worry about. They've done a great job with the way this game is presented in general, really. I've kept you waiting long enough. Let's actually go do some online. So we can go to the Torii Gate and we can go through the yokai realm with a companion, so it's basically full-on co-op, or I can, like, missions designed specifically for co-op, or I can go and become a visitor in another world, and I'm hoping that if I become a visitor in the right world, I'll be able to show off a big boss fight. I haven't had trouble finding a match before, like, even just a couple of hours ago, I was finding matches almost every time I looked, so let's make sure, well, let's see if I can find one. It shouldn't take too long. Yep, it just went through pretty much immediately. Alright, this is a boss that was originally in, I think, the second beta. I didn't play the third. I did play the first and the second, though. So, if you've already seen that beta, unless this guy's already in the underground chasm part, then, well, you'll see one that wasn't in the betas. But, well, we'll just wait and see, won't we? Alright, so where is he? He's not in the underground. That's good. That means we actually get to see the boss. Hello, Alpha Core Ultra. You are now internet famous. If you insist, we'll just spam block. Alright. Yep, he's already unlocked the shortcut through this area. There's plenty of them. And, oh no, we're actually going to go and fight a few things. That's alright. We do want to take out those things quick as possible, because they can turn into giant beasties. And they are very unpleasant to fight. Like that giant beastie over there. Yep, and we're just going to go straight through this door. Or he's going to go straight through this door. I'm just going to stand back until he opens it, because I'll get teleported in. Well, maybe I won't, but... oh well. He goes, gets his thing back, and we get to fight Nioh. Let's just hope he knows what to do with this boss, huh? So what do I think of Nioh just all up? I think Nioh is a really good game. I mean, it's obviously got inspirations out that are very clearly taken from something like Dark Souls, right? I mean... some of them could be outright clones. There are things that it does that are original, like the 3 different combat styles. The way you learn all your skills, all of that stuff. That's all well and good, really. Like, nothing wrong with that. But the action is fast and furious, and it does remind me very heavily of Dark Souls and just other similar action games. Where, I mean, if you're happy with the sort of... oh, shit. Oh, he's dead. He's so dead. He's not going to be able to get out of there. Nope, he's alive. That's a good thing, I guess. Ow. I'm still alive, thank God. the hell back, get the hell back. I'm alright, I'm alright. He better heal up. Yep, he's healed up. And he better run for it. Oh, that was meant for me. Shit, okay. If you're looking for another sort of Dark Souls-like game where the worlds are big and primed to be explored, where the bosses are very difficult, the combat is unforgiving, well, not so much unforgiving as much as it is, well, as much as it is still quite difficult, then, and if you're looking for, like, things like monsters to have, like, patterns that you need to learn in order to actively fight them, then this will do you just fine. The game runs perfectly well, it's got a great art style, it really is a very pretty game. Those betas really did help it out. The action's still pretty damn furious. It's good fun to play. I'm enjoying it. I plan on going through the rest of it if I can. They've actually lightened up on the difficulty curve since the betas a bit. It's actually a fair bit easier now to get started, which is good because the betas made it look like it was going to be really hard to get off the ground, but you're actually doing all right here. There we go. That went a lot better than my first time, I'll tell you that much. So yeah, we get items and then we get to move on into the next part of the stage. I'll just keep playing until I have nothing less to say about it, really. I don't think there's anything else that needs to be said, though. The game is very good. It's well done. It's a lot of fun to play. Hang on, I need to do the sorry gesture here if I can. Will he accept it from me? No, I don't think he will. Yeah, but he just needs to get the gesture and do it to that poor guy. I mean, seriously, just look at that. Look at that atmosphere. That's so pretty. Such a lovely looking game. Okay, so is he gonna do it now? Yep, he did it, and it's gonna go away now. Fun. Fun times. Hang on, I'll drop out. I'll bow to him. In fact, is there any way for me to get back? Oh, I guess I can't get back until we're done here. That's unfortunate. So I'll just end the video right here because I've said everything I need to say. This game's great. It really is pretty damn good. They spent like 10 years making it, and it shows. And it's it really is a really good time. If you're looking for something like this will definitely do you fine. This has been Blue Maxima, and I'll see you all next time. Clap, clap, clap.